Assalamu alaikum, and hey y'all, it's Ramana Kerns-Muhammad. I am the founder of Imagine You Consulting and the creator of the 5-Day Business Startup Challenge. And I'm here today to talk to you about day 4. Day 4. Wow, I cannot believe that we are practically at the end of this challenge. If you have done the work to this point, you should have in hand a viable idea of a product or service to build a business around. And all that's left to do at this point is the testing. Hence the term I put on your radar yesterday, test tube baby. I call this phase the test tube method because it calls for you to abandon the traditional method of entry into business startup and instead to focus on determining if this is exactly the right idea worth investing the time, the finances, and effort into. Once you have determined that you have a viable opportunity in this product or service, only then should you go gung-ho developing a marketing strategy and product or service to build a brand around. But in the test phase, I encourage you to use as little money as possible getting the word out about your product. And don't go investing in domain names and professional web developers and graphic artists and marketing services and automation and all those things you hear about in the traditional business startup circles from coaches and things like that. It's not time just yet. There are several tools that will allow you to present your product or service online or in person in a professional and polished way at little to no cost. And you may have to spend a little bit of effort learning how to use these tools, but in the long run, I think you will greatly appreciate reserving the finances and specifically the time if it seems that this is not the product or service that you're going to make your millions from per se. Okay, instead of upgraded traditional business cards, I would suggest using services like Vistaprint. Vistaprint also provides web hosting and web development, web development tools, as well as many other platforms that offer user-friendly click and drag type tools to build a presentable website. Usually you get like a 30-day trial with these things and then a nominal cost thereafter. For list building and automation, use services like MailChimp and freelance sites like Fiverr for graphic artistry, to develop a logo if you want a logo, to go along with the name of your product or service as you are presenting it in the beginning. And for $5 a pop, you can't beat it, right? Sometimes 10. By all means, please don't throw large sums of money at anything in this stage. Anything having to do with your business at this stage. It's not time. After you have actually produced some income from it or acquired a client or two or more, only then would I say go high tech, over the top, big invest in building your baby, okay? And if you don't see the results fast enough, and remember, results in business startup is very relative, so I use that term very loosely, but if you don't see the results fast enough, you have the opportunity to evaluate what could be the problem, because it might not necessarily be the product or service. It could be a good product or a good service. It could be the name that turns individuals off, or makes people shy away from the product or service because they don't necessarily understand it based on the name. We talked about that yesterday, some of the characteristics to consider in naming. And if you have not read the material from yesterday or did the assignments, then you need to go back and review that. It could be your presentation. It could be any number of things, and so you don't want to, throw the baby out with the bathwater if it's not the actual product or service that is the problem as much as something associated with it. And jumping back to that name thing, imagine spending money to register, your name with a state business bureau and creating a domain name, a domain around a name, and logos, the graphic artistry and everything, and then come to find out it's not even a name that, one, you can use, or two, you should use, or three, you want to even use for some odd reason. That's why this test phase is so crucial, and I'm really focusing on something like the name, but it's everything involved. Again, it could be how easy is it to build a marketing strategy around this public that really around this product or service that really draws the public to it. It's not necessarily the business idea itself, though it very well could be, but not necessarily, and you only know that once you're able to real world test it. And once you have decided that this is in fact a viable business opportunity that you should invest time and effort and resources in developing and building a brand around, go all out doing that. But don't do it so early that you end up wasting resources, and that you end up wasting time, and that you end up wasting effort. Any bona fide business coach will tell you the costs associated with, like building a website, for instance, a professional website, can be astronomical and a huge part of your business startup budget. If it turns out to be a site that you can't even use, just imagine what you've wasted. Through real-world testing, you'll have sufficient case study material in the area of attractability for your product name, your product implementation. You'll have marketing techniques, true business-related needs, and avoid, again, wasting. That's what it comes down to. And hey, no need to fret if you find out that you need to pursue or look for another opportunity or another product that might be better received in the public domain. No fret. Throughout the course of this challenge, you've learned a method to help you identify products and services readily accessible and available to you to introduce in the form of a business. And one thing I can honestly say is I am so excited to have been able to share with you the technique, the tool for identifying business opportunities that you have stored within yourself, because I feel like that in and of itself is a life changer. It's a game changer for you. Now your mind will be on go, and you'll always know that there's something you can do from yourself to produce for yourself. And alhamdulillah, which just simply means all praise to Allah, I am very excited to have been able to share that tool with you. Today's assignment, your only assignment is to consider how you're going to introduce your baby. And yes, your business is a baby. How you're going to introduce your baby to the world. This means coming up with copy text and images in the form of an ad to promote your product or service. And if you feel this is something that is difficult for you, let me interject here and say that is something I can help with. That is a service I do provide, creating ads. So if you want to reach out to me, I'd love to see if I can be of help. And I'd also suggest, if you are in need of a venue, an avenue, online avenue to start advertising, now more than ever, I would encourage, if you have not already joined the Sisters Mind Your Own Business Buddingpreneur Facebook group, you should do that. That's a great place to put those ads and get some feedback, and at least have a target in mind online for an introduction or launch, right? And lastly, if you and I are still not connected on social media, I hope that we can finally change that today. Please visit my website at www.imagineyouconsulting.com, and it's spelled out completely, imagineyouconsulting.com. You can find me on Twitter at Ramana Muhammad. You can find me on Facebook, Ramana Muhammad, or we can connect on Instagram currently at just_naturally_cute_things. And that is the name of my jewelry line. I've shared with you over the course of this challenge that I am a jewelry instructor, jewelry designer and instructor, and my jewelry line is Just Naturally Cute Things. The Instagram page for that product is just an option. Another one of my favorite words. I love the word options, and I love having options in life. I feel like options are freedom, you know, and they are a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. Great asset to have in your life, options. But that is an option for us to connect online currently. With that, welcome to day 4. You should find the worksheet you need attached in today's email, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.